Okay, so I'm making this epic video about the East Algarve because we've been spending a lot of time in Lagos, and I thought, well, hey, hang on, let's head out to the East Algarve and really analyze that, because there's some amazing things there. It's very different to the West Algarve. And at the same time, I thought, well, there's a couple of houses there that I know for sale, and a lot of developments actually that I know for sale. And I thought, well, why not do a sort of an analysis of the East Algarve regarding real estate? So we're going to head out there and do that, but that's going to be next week. Okay, this week, what I want to do is a different style of video. Just talk to you guys. Just talk to you, because I wanted to tell you the story of Algarve Addicts, and I also want to tell you how I make money, because I think a lot of you might think, well, actually, I went to a party this weekend. It was fantastic, and I didn't know many people there. And this one guy at my table turned around and said, YouTube!
So how's it going, Nathan?
It's wonderful.
The reason we're here is because it's his birthday. So
It's a selfie.
Get it to carry the next one in.
Yeah, it's like, what's it called?
Comes in.
what's that, Nick?
Get it to carry the next one in. Like when she comes in. Like,
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll do that. Getting shot direction from Nick Smith here. The birthday man. Oh, there you go. Looking
rotating
good.
view.
That is an amazing cabbage
With my
leaf.
hand.
Are you happy in this world?
These are all my fault.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Raquelle Gracie.
Dude, is it?
Tell me something, boy. Wish you tired, I'm so glad, boy. Or do you need more? Choose like you put it so hard for. In all the good times I find myself so sweet, and in the bad times I feel myself.
I was like, oh, this is crazy. So the people are starting to recognize me because these videos are doing so well. And he was such a fantastic guy. Shout out to you, Nathan. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And he was saying to me, you know, maybe people would like to know how you make money on this channel, because there's always in the back of your mind to think, well, why is this guy doing this? I mean, it's a lot of work. And, you know, isn't he getting some kind of reward for it? And he must be. So I'll go over that in the second half. I just want to tell you a little bit of history about Algarve Addicts, the brand. So let's go back before that. So back to 2014, I was working in a job, digital marketing job, and I've been doing this, basically building websites and emails and all kinds of things related to digital marketing since the year 2000. And obviously, as technology has progressed, I've changed what I've been doing. And but so eventually it got to 2014, and I got a pain in my back, actually a pain in my coccyx, and I thought, you know, I've been sitting down for the last 15 years, ever since I arrived in Portugal. And I've been working my butt off. And I was like, what am I all about? And I've sort of went back to my younger years, where I started surfing when I was 14. I used to go on hikes, like long 3-day hikes. You know, it was a common thing. We all used to do this in South Africa. And then I used to windsurf, and I became a river guide in the African bush after going down the Zambezi River, which was phenomenally cool. I just remember that's incredible. You get into this rubber raft, 8-man raft, okay, and you're paddling up. And I've never been on a river like this before. That's massive, huge, big gorge going up, and it's really impressive. And you're middle of Africa, and the environment's completely different, and there's crocodiles and buffalo everywhere, and you think, wow. And then you're sitting in this raft, and suddenly you see the water go at the edge of the river, or at the end of the river as you're going down the river. Right at the end, you just suddenly see it going all glassy and steam coming off. You think, and you hear this noise, and you think, oh my God, what is around that? And then as you get closer and closer, and then you start seeing the rapid, and you go straight down. It was just, it was incredible. I'm sure some of you have done river rafting in your time, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, I suggest it's fun. Maybe not start off the Zambezi, because it's Zambezi and the Colorado River are two of the most insane rivers in the world, the best rivers. So what I was saying is I come from a history of outdoors. So I was a river guide, and then I went on to become a game ranger, which is essentially a glorified field guide. And we used to take clients out, drive the Land Rover, and me and my partner, who is a tracker, we'd go out there and we'd show all these wealthy tourists. I mean, like, I'm talking now, currently it was a place called Singita. You can check it out, singita.com. And now I think they're charging about $8,000 a night. So it's pretty top end stuff. And that was an amazing experience. Did that for 2 years in various game lodges. And so I'm sitting here in Portugal in 2014 thinking, for the last 14 years, why have I been sitting behind a desk? That's where my heart belongs. I really love outdoors. So I thought, okay, I'm going to combine both, which is always a good idea. So I built a website called outdoorsinportugal.com, and every weekend I'd go away and do a little mission outdoors, like cycle along the Algarve. And one weekend, my buddy and I, Florian, we went up to Algarve Dam, and we did this. It was quite funny because he thought, oh my God, this is such a romantic thing. We were kayaking under the stars. We actually went for a kayaking moonlit thing. He says, I shouldn't be here. You should be here with your wife. And he was right. But and then we went cycling around Algarve Dam, and we went paddling in his canoe down the Rio Mira on the west coast of the Algarve. So we did all these amazing things, and I used to blog it and write about it. And in that stage, it was just all about blogs. And I started a little podcast, and I went to interview a couple of people, and I didn't really get it because I didn't really know how to do it. So I didn't ever get to it. And then the site got hacked, and a porn site went up in its place. So I didn't know what to do, and I was just like, shut it down. And I had a lot of the content, but I didn't ever get around to building it back up because I had switched ideas and thought, let's do something physical as opposed to digital. So I started up my stand-up paddle company, which I ran for 3 years and sold in 2018. And then that's just before I sold that, that's when I started Algarve Addicts, because it's essentially the same as Outdoors in Portugal, but more niched on the Algarve. And I did a bunch of podcasts. I think I've done about 40 interviews on the podcast, and it took off, and I started getting some interaction, and got a lot of downloads, and it was going well. But I could never monetize it. Could never earn any money from it. And I was thinking. Then I made some videos as well, because I love making videos, as you can see. But it's really difficult if you're not making money from it, or if you can't see how to make money coming from it. I don't mind investing a year or 2 years of my life if you know that you're going to get some money return, because we've got to support the family. So then that's when my friend Veronica said to me, and that was in November last year. She said, Nick, I've seen your videos. They're amazing, but nobody's watching them. Make a video on where to live in the Algarve. So I did. And you might have seen it as well. It's my most popular video. It just blew up and got about 150,000 views. And it was amazing to date. And it was really amazing. So I thought, oh, wow, this can really work. And then I started thinking about, okay, how do I monetize it? Because, I've been studying how to monetize on the internet for a long time. So currently, the way I make money with Algarve Addicts is through the following. And I haven't really researched this out, so it may come out a bit garbled. But number one, at the top end of the range, is I'm not a real estate agent. I don't sell houses. But what I do is I refer you guys who want to buy houses to the right real estate agent. So that's where my value comes in. Is there are so many real estate agents in the Algarve. I mean, it's classic. You must have seen these posts on Facebook, if you're a Facebook person. Some people aren't, which is great, and I respect that completely. But, some people will put on a post on Facebook on a group, or even on my group. Actually, not so much on my group, because I don't really allow many real estate agents in, but they'll put a post saying, hey, can you recommend any real estate agents? And within minutes, they're like 56 posts, like boom, 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 pick me, pick me, pick me. And I was like, how on earth is anybody supposed to know who's good and who's not? Because there are a lot of dodgy people in the Algarve. There's a lot of great people too. But how do you know if you're coming in from the US? And I thought, well, this is a really, really good thing. So I need to refer solid, honest people with great integrity. So I'm working with 2 real estate groups, and I refer them depending on what kind of house you have. And I've managed to sell one house in Amendoeira Golf Resort, which is fantastic, and I'd love to chat to you, Eds, as soon as I can and hear your story. And then there's another house which we've sold in Santa Maria in Lagos, and I'd really love to speak to you as well. So we're going to get that together as soon as time allows. And you know, I'd love to hear your story about how you came across from the US and bought the house, etc. If you guys are willing, because I think that you guys out there would love to hear those kind of stories. So that's the first revenue stream, you know, referring to real estate agents. The second, so yeah, I mean, hey, if you do want a house, or you know somebody who wants a house, well, tell them to come over to me and I'll refer them, please, because that would really help the channel. And that's what's keeping it alive at the moment. There are some smaller revenue streams. So in no particular order, you might have seen a video I did called NIF, something about NIFs. And NIF is the Número de Identificação Fiscal. And that is it's basically your financial number. So it's your tax number here in Portugal. So you can't do anything without that. Okay. So you need to get one of those. And I did a video with those guys. And they've got a service, a really cool online service. It costs $150 US. And if you put my code in, my code is Nick, N-I-C-K. And that will give you $10 off. But I also get paid, like, I can't remember how much it is, get paid about 10%, I think, which is great. You know, it's really, really awesome. So I get a little bit of income from that, you know, a couple $100 a month, whatever, sometimes. I mean, it comes and goes depending on how much I publicize it. But it's still early days yet. And I just think it's a great service because, you know, a lot of people, you can actually get one of these things for free. But you have to be here and you have to stand in a queue. And a lot of people are just like, oh, just, you know, $150, let's do it. Sometimes I've heard lawyers are charging a lot more for that. So, you know, whatever. But what the point I'm trying to make here is, like, I'm digressing a little bit, is that these are affiliate programs that I get. And I love the whole philosophy of it because you don't actually pay for it. Because there's this product, like this $150 NIF service. You're always going to pay that, whether you give it to me or not. It's like, I'm not taking any money out of your pocket. And likewise with Portuguese lessons, I've got 2 European Portuguese lessons, which I've found that I actually struggle to find them because, as you probably know, if you're looking to speak Portuguese, there's lots of Brazilian Portuguese courses and things, but not many European courses. So I found these 2 and they're great, and I'll put their links in the description. So that's how, and I make a little kickback from those guys, which is great. And then someone phoned me up or emailed me, and he said, he was a really cool guy, I think he was from Arizona, and he said, listen, Nick, I want to chat to you, I really do. And I said, well, I really don't have much time. He said, listen, I'll give you $100 and 45 minutes, let's do it. I was like, okay, who's going to say no to that? I mean, that's a really good value. And he said, you should do this. I said, okay, I will. So I just put it out there, and I said, look, $100 US for 45 minutes. And I felt like, wow, that's a lot of money. And, you know, but the thing is, I'm here on the ground, and I know this place like the back of my hand, and a lot of people get a lot of value out of it. So, you know, it's you're charging for your time, which is great. So that's doing quite well as well. Okay, so my current revenue streams, just to recap. So I earn money from partners, real estate agents and lawyers who I refer you guys to, who are trusted, you know, partners that I know and trust over the years. I get paid for paid chats with people looking to move over to Portugal. YouTube pays me a little bit of money through their adverts that they put in these videos. Hopefully you're not stopping for one right now. Affiliate earnings, I get a small amount of money from Border.io, Practice Portuguese, and also a lady called Mia Esmerige. She's got an online course which is really good. I'm just checking that out right now and starting to share it with you guys. Donations as well. I sort of hide that behind buy me a beer because I love beer and craft beer especially. So all the donations I get, I thank you so much, and especially thanks to Charles Burr, who's just donated like a couple of weeks ago. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I can get quite a few beers for that. There are a couple of extra revenue streams as well, or one extra revenue stream. I've managed to get a video gig with another real estate company, and so that's great. But I prefer to focus mainly on my time with my YouTube channel, because I also have another big project on the go as well, and maybe I'll tell you about that someday, but not right now. Yeah, and there's also other little affiliate links as well as we go. And you know, Tom's joined my team for he just initially joined my team. We sort of having a look, see if we can work together, and it's going really well so far. He's making some fantastic videos, and we're going to start writing blog posts and things so we can get more affiliate links into there. So those will, again, they won't you know, people don't charge any extra. We don't charge people any extra to use those affiliate links. They pay the same amount as they would normally, but we just get a little commission on that. So, you know, like hotels and things like that. So we're making guides, and we're just trying to figure it out because, you know, it's not making a lot of money, but hopefully over time we'll grow. Because there is so much content to be made, and there's so many questions that you guys have, which is great. So please, if you have any crazy random any question that you have, please drop it into the comments, because I want to solve your problems. I can solve all your problems if you tell me what those problems are. Okay. So I hope that wasn't too garbled, and I hope you understand exactly what's going on with this channel, the history of it, how we make money, and what kind of service we want to do, because we really want to help people. And that's another thing that I always wanted to do. And I was just looking at an old video that I made from 2 years ago, just almost talking about some of the stuff. And the overriding thing is that I want to help you because I'm in a privileged position here. I've been in the Algarve and know the Algarve, and I know lots of people in the Algarve. And I remember when I first arrived here, all I saw was a brochure back in the year 2000 when I knew I was going to fly over. All I saw was this brochure on, you know, I went down to the local real estate agent because the internet wasn't really a thing then. I mean, it was, but there wasn't much on there. So I went down to the local real estate agent and got a brochure on the Algarve. I was like, okay, this is the Algarve. And I bought my Let's Go Europe, and I looked up, and then there's Portugal. And I'd been here before. Actually, it's a lovely story to tell. I don't know if we've got time, but the weirdest thing was, like, when I was traveling around, I was 20 years old in 1992. I just left the army, and because in South Africa we had 2 years conspiracy, not conspiracy, 2 years conscription, and we had to go into the army. So I went to the army. The first year I spent being messed up and messed up again, and eventually became a lieutenant. So I was a lieutenant, as we say in South Africa, a one pip loot, a one-star lieutenant, and that was a hard year. Trust me, really hard. So if any of you have been to the army, you'll know how tough it is, and especially it's almost like basic training for the entire year. And yeah, I've got a lot of stories about that. And then the second year was great because I was, you know, everyone was walking around saluting me, and you know, it's white glove waiters serving you amazing food in the mess hall, and it was fantastic. But after army, I went overseas for a year, like a gap year, which it's very common in South Africa for young guys or young students and guys and girls to go over and have a gap year and just go around the world. The normal thing for us is to head straight to London, which I did. And after 3 months, it was heading to winter. I was like, whoa, just got to go to Florida because some friend was going there. So I went over to Key West for 3 months and came back. And on the way, after this whole year off, there were 4 Australian nurses, or 5 Australian nurses actually, and they said, guys, we're going to go down to the Algarve and join us. So my trip back to South Africa was from London via Lisbon, because I was flying TAP, to Cape Town. So I thought, well, that's great. I'll just stop off in Lisbon, get a bus all the way down to the Algarve where the girls were, and then hang out for a week. And I did, and it was fantastic. But the funny thing was that we had this big beach barbecue actually, as non-South Africans would know it. And there were a couple of guys there who I later met when I arrived here in the year 2000. And I was like, oh no, you were at that beach bar, and then like, it was crazy. It was just because this place is really small in the Algarve. So, you know, you've got to behave yourself in this community. You really do, because it's very incestuous. Lots of gossip going on and things like that. Because, you know, think about it, there's only about 100,000 or 93,000 to be exact, foreigners here, and they all talk and chat and stuff. So it's actually, generally it's a really, really good environment and community to be in, but sometimes you can get into some incestuous gossip. It can be quite malicious. So, but hey, that's anywhere. That's anywhere a small place. So I hope I've given you a background onto Algarve Addicts, and I hope you haven't fallen asleep, switched off, or whatever. But next week we'll get back into the regular programming, and as I said, I'm building this really, really cool video about the East Algarve, and I'm really excited about it. Actually, it's great. So it might even actually have to be in 3 parts, because we really delve into Cabanas, and we delve into that's the one near Tavira, and we delve into a little village called Fuzeta. So exciting times. Guys, well, listen, thanks so much for watching as usual. Really appreciate it. And if you need anything, jump on to algarveaddicts.com. All right, my name's Nick, signing off.